Hi guys, welcome back. This is March 21st, Saturday's workout. It's kind of a bodyweight ninja workout for you guys. We have 3 rounds, 400-meter run, 50 kettlebell swings, and then 50 air squats. So for today's workout, it's monostructural, which would be our running, and then gymnastic stuff, as well as weightlifting. So we're going to consider weightlifting anything where you're moving a weight. That's where the kettlebell would come in, or if you have anything you can swing. And then the bodyweight stuff is going to be air squats. We're going to consider that our gymnastics piece. This one should be right in that middle range of our 10 to 15 minutes. Some of you will be able to smoke this and be a little on the outlier part of it, maybe go 8-9 minutes. And then some of you might be a little bit slower on that 15 minute, just depending on what we need to work on. So for the 400-meter run, we've kind of given you, or the idea is that we give you about 1.5 minutes to just over 2 minutes to run that. If you guys are scaling that, when we run, we want to run. So what that means is if you have, say, a quarter mile, which is what we have today, and you're good for 200 meters and then you have to walk for a little bit, that walk isn't getting you better at running, at least not for what we're trying to do today. I'm not saying do that on a different training day, that's totally appropriate. But for today, there should be no walking unless running hurts something other than your feelings. You need to be running. For the kettlebell swings, it should take about 1 minute or 2. So if you're scaling for that, you can either scale the weight, you can scale the rep, or you can scale the range of motion. And we'll go over exactly what I mean by that. And then for air squats, you can scale the reps. Never scale less range of motion than what we actually want for the workout. And what I mean by that, and I tell people a lot, is if you can't get your butt lower than your knees on your air squat, you're not really doing yourself any good as far as what we're trying to do out of our training program, our strength and conditioning training program. I would rather you do 2 perfect squats or 2 squats at a good range than 150 shitty ones. You'll get way more out of the good range than you will doing all of the reps. Having said that, it should also be a pain-free range. So if at any point you're doing these movements and you start to experience pain, we want to send me a message, talk to me, talk to one of the other coaches, and we'll see what's going on there. There's some other things that we can scale. Okay, so for kettlebell swings, I got a couple things. So we've used these before. I have my kettlebell, and then I also have my cleaning product. I've seen some people do amazing kettlebell swings with kids. I'm not a parent, so I'm gonna leave that up to you. For the kettlebell, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get your bigger muscles to move the smaller muscles, which means my hip opening should kind of hand it off to my arm. So if I have my virtual kettlebell, my hip's gonna go back, hip's gonna open, and it's going to move that kettlebell. A couple of faults that I see are your hips go back and the kettlebell's still here, so you sort of have to yank it back, and then you use your arms are out here before your kettlebell goes up. So the first thing we need to do is we call it a hinge. So it's not a squat, it's not a lean over, it's like pushing your hips back. I like to do a little game. The rules of the game are feet have to stay flat, your knees can't bend, and you can't lean on the wall. So I just get as far away from the wall as I can, try to get my butt to just kind of kiss the wall. When you do that, you should feel your hamstrings kind of light up, your lower body bicep. And that stretch is what we want to feel. We should feel this and not like a lower back thing. If we do a lower back thing, just stop immediately. So here's my kettlebell. I'm gonna start my swing, hips go back, hips open, and then the kettlebell starts to come up. This would be what we would call a Russian swing. This would be what we would call an American swing. So at the top, what's gonna end up happening is my kettlebell top is gonna be overhead. My arms are gonna be totally locked out. If I can't get there without some sort of shoulder pinch, I'm gonna go to a spot that I can get where it doesn't pinch my shoulder. If I have something like this, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that overhead, but what I could do is I could scale the reps up a little bit. So personally, I would probably go about 60 to 75 instead of 50 and do my Russian swing. Just like so. A couple efficiency tips. I like to say breathe out on the point of contact. For our kettlebell swings, that would be here. kettlebell's hitting me, so it would be. Sometimes you can squeeze out a few more reps before you have to take a break. On this particular workout, unbroken is what we're looking for, but if you need to stop, make sure that you're stopping really short rest periods and that you're getting right back on the exercise. For the air squats, kind of went over it at the beginning. I want my hip crease to be below my knee, and then I want to stand up all the way. Doesn't mean I need to hump the air, just means I should be able to squeeze my butt at the top. Just like so. From the front, my knees are gonna track right with my toes, and this is not gonna happen. If you guys have any questions about movement standards or mobility or anything like that, please feel free to hit me up, and then we'll talk to you guys soon.